Hello everyone. This is Debabrata once again, and today I'm planning to cover one of the not that much important topic for the interview, but still it is needed to know, and that topic name is array of object. So it is not a huge topic, but I'm planning to present it with some real-time examples. Like, what is array of object? We have already done the concept of array, so I will take it as a prerequisite of this class. So I hope you already know what is array and what is object, and today we are going to combine that. So we already know how to define an array of integer, how to define an array of string. I hope so. Just no need to remember all those big and complex programs. Just if you have the idea of array, basic array of integers and basic concept of objects, that will be enough for this class. And today, as a real-time scenarios, I will be trying to make some sign in sign up feature. So probably you have seen that in all the applications. Suppose if you are installing one of the banking app or any of the movie booking app, say. So obviously on the first page, they will be asking you for sign in if you are already an user. If not, then you have to sign up. Sign up means you have to create your account with your email ID, with other details. Different applications require different information. I'm not going into that directions. Just I'm trying to create that sign in or sign up feature. So as a step one, nothing complicated will be here. Just as a step one, we are trying to create a sign up feature for a banking app. We have already created one banking app in our class of object. I'll provide the link in the detail section if you are new here. So let me go to Blue Java. So we already created one of the banking class in one of our class. I'm just going to reuse that. There is no meaning to recreate that class once again. So what is, if you are new, let me explain what we have in this class. So the class name is bank. It has two variables called balance, which will hold the amount you will be saving or storing in the bank, and your name. As a constructor or as a initialization, I will assign the initial balance of the bank and the name of the person who is holding the account. So we do not have a lot of features like today's bank. They have a lot of features like online shopping, blah blah blah, and a lot of things are there. Password change, you can book some fixed deposit, and a lot of things are there. But in our banking app, we will go with a simple three features, three basic features of banking. That is, you can check your balance, you can submit some money, and you can withdraw some money. Do not need to look into the code. It is very simple. If anyone wants to withdraw, suppose I have 10,000 rupees in my account and I want to withdraw 20,000 rupees, obviously it will show me like insufficient balance, like you cannot withdraw some more amount that you have in your account. It is very basic, basic operations. Otherwise, it will just do balance equals to balance minus X. And it will do the same for submit. For submit, it will just do balance equals to balance plus X. That's all. Nothing complicated, nothing much uh, we have already done that. If you have done in our previous classes, if not, even it is a simple code. I will provide the code in the description section. So for the timing, just to run the code if it is working fine or not, because it is an old program. So let me open an account like ACC1 or something, and I can put like, okay, I can open a one bank account with 10,000 rupees and with my name, let's say Guha. So I just want to open an account. So let me create that just to check if this app is working or not for the time being. So balance inquiry, if I just check, I have opened the account with 10,000. So it is saying, hi Guha, your balance is 10,000. And this app is very, that is the feature of object itself. You can create several objects with several names. So now I can create account to someone else with 20,000 account, 20,000 rupees, and I can write, suppose the name is suppose Iron. So if I just click OK. So now if I check the balance of Iron, it will say hi Iron. So it can recognize the person throughout the process. And Iron's uh, account is Iron's balance is 20,000 rupees. So you can now do submit or withdraw as per your need. Even in case of mine, I can also do the submit and withdraw. I'm not going into that direction. We do not need to do that now. So now what I'm planning to do, I want to create an application called banking app or something. And here I just want to create some users who can access these banking features. So let me introduce something like class banking app. And here I'm just going to introduce two variables. So first two functions, sorry. So first one is void sign up. If you do not have any account, you can create your account. So how to create your account? So first of all, here I will create an array called users. So previously we used to create an array of users like this. Suppose I can create an array of users with integer types and with 5 length. So that is a known way probably for you. But now what I will do, instead of integer, I'm going to use this class name. Like the class name is bank. So here, okay, first of all, I can create several objects like I have already done. So bank account one, I can create bank account one equals to new bank. I have already done that manually. Now I can write the same code here. Like, okay, 10,000 rupees, an account of Guha. I have already done that few seconds back. I can create another account like bank account to new bank. Let's say it is 20,000 and it is created by Iron. So I have already shown you how it works. And now you can simply play with these two objects. So you can write account one equal account one dot balance and query. I have already shown you how to work with that, but if you prefer writing all the codes by yourself, then you can do that. So account one, balance inquiry, and account two, balance inquiry. Something like that. Why it is giving the error? Identifier expected. Uh, uh, uh. So if I'm doing any mistake, just let me check. Okay, banking app. Okay, here it is, banking. So void balance inquiry, class bank. Okay, so if I just go here and balance inquiry is empty. Yeah, here it is. So, okay, let me do one thing. Let me put all this into something like some functions called show. Say, and if I run this one, Control K, I'm just compiling that. And now banking app, if I just run it, like, okay, let me create some object like an application, suppose app. And from the app, I can show like void show. If I just run, you can see, okay, it is taking some time. Yeah, here it is. You can see the messages like, hi Guha, your balance is 10,000. Hi Ayan, your balance is 20,000. The same thing I have done few seconds back, manually. But now in one bank, every day, in a single day, few thousand people come to open the account. A bank like State Bank of India probably having more than crores of account in this bank. Every day they need to handle a lot of accounts. One person can have multiple accounts. So who creates these objects for the bank? It is not possible like a bank member open the code and write all the names one by one. So it is really not possible. So the idea is, instead of creating all those accounts, account one, account two, account three, if I can create an array. So that is the feature, that is the flexibility, and that is the advantages of array. We do not need to create all the variables one by one. Here I'm doing the same. Instead of account one, account two, I'm just creating an array. And you can see I'm following the same notifications like integer array. So here I have to write bank account and array. It is, I'm not giving any number, particular number like account one or account two. I'm just giving an array. So it might hold as many as you want. So here I'm writing bank account equals to new bank. Okay, so here you can write something like 5 or something, but for the time being, I will just give 0 because I do not have any user right now. So let me delete this. I have written this just to remind you how we define an integer array. In the similar way, it is not an integer. So here I'm defining a bank. So how an integer array looks, if I just try to explain. An integer array looks like this. Okay, just let me change the color a bit. Yeah. So an integer array, suppose with 5 size, it looks like something like this. It has 5 elements inside. So these are the numbers. Obviously, you can store for an integer array, you can store suppose 10, 20, 30, and blah, blah, blah. You can store all the integers. But what will happen for this account, that is bank array? So similar, a 5 size here in case we have defined with 0 size, but if you define with a 5 size, so it will be also an array. It will be bigger in size. It is not small like an integer. It will be bigger in size. And here in each of them, it will be an array. So here, suppose it will be an object. So here, suppose the object of Guha is there, means my object. You can define another object in second place, that is probably Iron's object, say. So here it is Iron's object. Here it is some other person's object. Here it is some other person object. So you can define a lot of object in each place. So the array is made for the objects. Array is not made for the integers. So I'm just going to do the same thing here. So here I'm just going to make it like bank type. Initially, it was integer type, the first type of array. Now we are making it for the bank type. Even here, I'm just making it as a bank type. You can see. So I hope you got the idea how to create an array of objects. So I'm just deleting the first line. I'm also deleting the drawing as well. So now let me put this line outside of the function. So here I'm just going to make the name as sign up. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to create an, suppose I'm just going to create an array called temp. Okay, so temporary, an array of objects which will be having the size as the actual array, that is 0 size. Suppose this is the first user who clicked on sign up. That is the first user of our bank. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to create an array, which is array of object, which is having one extra place, like account length plus one. Actual array named account is having 0 size. So I'm just going to make that with one extra size. Okay, so the size will be 1, and that is for our first user. And next, what I'm going to do, let me take some inputs from the user, like, okay, input your name, your opening balance, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just going to take those as input. Let me take that very quickly. And I can define scanner as well outside so that I can use that in other places without defining this line multiple times. So here, I'm just saying, okay, whoever is you, You are the new user or our first user kind of. So enter your name and register your name so that we can open your account, your online account or something. You can apply it anywhere. Okay. So I'm just taking like string n or something, n for name. And I'm just going to take it like sc dot next, suppose. Next, we are going to take the opening amount, like enter the opening balance or enter the amount you want to open your account, something like that. And here I'm just going to take this as int a for or int b for balance, the opening balance, I mean, and I'm just going to take it inside integer variable called b. Now here I'm just going to give those values. Obviously, instead of 10,000, I'm going to give like the balance that is given by the user, that is input by the user. And instead of my name, I'm just going to give the name of the user, that is n. Let me delete this one. We do not need that anymore. So now I'm not going to create a real object like account one because a we have already created an array for that. So why should we take that inside another object? So instead of this account one, we are just going to do account array 0. That will be our first position. But unfortunately, the initial array is with 0 size. So we are not going to make that now. We will put that inside the temp array because temp array is created with size 1. The length of the actual array where all the accounts are there plus 1. So initially our new bank is having no account. This is the first time anyone is willing to join our bank. Anyone is willing to sign up. So we will just create a temporary array with account size 1. The actual account size is 0 plus 1. So this temp array is currently having size 1. So basically the temp array will look like, let me draw something again. So this array will be with one size will be created like that. And now what will we do? This temp array, okay, let me name it like temp. And now this is size 1 and the account array that is nothing with 0 size. Okay, it is nothing is there. So now I am going to create that object not inside ACC1, inside temp 0, or better to say the last position of the temp, because this array will grow one by one. So temp length -1. Okay, so the size of temp is 1. So 1 minus 1 means it is 0. I have used this variable because later it will be useful. Suppose we have already 100 accounts and we are going to create 101. So at that time, this expression will be needed. So rest of the things are already there. We have already written that. So I just edited them. And the new account is created in the temp array. But our actual array is account, not temp. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do account equals to temp. So here there will be no more temp array because it is a local variable. It is introduced inside the function. It has no global presence. Whenever function is ended, temp array will be gone. So we are going to name that as account. So now our account array is having our first user. That was our thought, to accommodate our first user. So now suppose if I draw something inside, so we have our first object. Suppose someone named Guha has opened the account. So this account, this object, I'm just making it round, but truly object has no shape. Just I'm just trying to trying to put the concept into your brain like an object, a round shape object or something like someone called Guha opened an account, and that account is there inside the ACC or account array, whatever you can call it. So now Second time, someone again came from somewhere and clicked on sign up button. So someone called Ian or someone wants to join. So this time what will happen? Again, this temp array will be created with account length plus 1. So what is the length of account now? Length of account is 1. So the temp array will be created with size 2. So with size 2 as per the code. I have already highlighted account plus length. Every time I will create the temp array with one extra size. Why? Because the new person will be accommodated on the last position of the temp. So now again, I'm asking for enter your name, brother, enter your account, enter your balance, whatever. So all the information I have already taken. Now I should have, I should do some extra task like all the existing users from the from the account array. I have to copy them here into the temp array. I'm trying to mean all the persons who already have account will be now copied into temp array. So here in this case, we have only one account called Guha. So we need to move that inside temp array. Okay. So now if I write the code int I equals to 0, I less than whatever we have in the account array, account dot length I plus plus. I just need to copy them into the temp array. So temp I equals to account I. So I have copied everything from ACC array to temp array. Now the time is the last position of the temp array. I'm just going to put, I'm just going to create or I'm just going to put the new user. Suppose Ayan, who has entered his details, Ayan with 20,000 rupees or something. I'm just going to place place that person into that last position of the temp array. What is the last position? You can see that this is the last position, temp length minus 1. So as a result, if I draw something, how it will look? So another new member will be accommodated on the temp array. Suppose the name of that person is Oyan. So no one needs to create the account by their own. No employee of State Bank or any bank needs to write those code. Automatically, whenever user clicks on sign up, this array of objects will be created automatically. So now as a last line, you can see I have written account equals to temp. So temp is a local variable. So it will not exist. So what will happen? Account will move from here and account will take the variable of temp. So there will be no more temp. It will be only account. So now our account array is having two objects, you can see. And this happens in reality as well. So if I compile, let's see. Yeah, our code is running. So now what will happen in the banking app? Suppose I'm just creating one banking app. Okay, let me make it a name like binary world or something. You can name it like SBI, whatever the bank name is. So now I have just only one option, sign up. So I do not have any other option for the time being. So I'm just signing up. It is asking for my name, you can see. So here I'm just giving my name as like Guha. As a first user, I'm the first user of that bank. And it is asking for, okay, with how much amount you want to open your account. So I am saying like, okay, I want to open my account with 10,000. It will be great if I show some message like, okay, hi Guha, your account has been created. But for the time being, it is not showing anything. So now again, you can again click on that void sign up and here you can put it like enter your name. Now Ayan is looking for creating the account and with 20,000 rupees an account is created. You can see. So there is no way to run this program and to see the users. Obviously, one user uh, cannot see all the informations of the bank. You can only see your information. So it works like an ATM machine. You can enter, you can do some of your stuff, or you can go and do your stuffs and come out. You are not allowed to see other users' details. So obviously, one user, they can create their account, but they will not going to see everything. But I can do one small modification. I can just print something like system.out.println, like hi name or hi n, sorry. your account is created. Your account is created successfully. I can show some message because as a users, I always prefer to see some messages. So now this sign up process is one of the example of array of the object. So we are going to create that application in a better way. But again, if you are okay with that, or if you are finding trouble, you can skip the rest of the lecture. So this is the concept of or array of objects. You can see this is an example of array of objects. That's all. Here as well, I have defined another array of objects, and it will hold the entire objects in each of its elements. So that is the concept. And from now, you can skip or you can close the class. It is not an important class for the interview. But still, if you are interested, you can go with me. So I'm just going to create a real sign in and sign up feature. So now we are interested to create a login feature. So if you have already the account, you have already created the account. Now you want to log in. Log in with your username or log in with your name, suppose. So how to do that? So first, what I will do, let me think. So here, when I am popping up the message, your account is created successfully, I can pop up something like I can share the user ID of the user. So here user ID, I can make like temp.length -1. So that means temp.length -1 means the first user will be created with 1 -1 means 0. The second user like Iron will be created as user ID 1. Something like that. If you want, you can make it 1 and 2 as well. Just ping, just print temp length. But here I prefer temp length -1 for the time being. So the first user will be popped up like, okay, hi Guha, your account is created with user ID 0. I can make it better. Later I will make it better. Iron will see a message like, hi Iron, your account is created successfully with user ID 1. So that message they will get. So now, as a second function called void sign in, so obviously it will ask for your user ID at the time of login. Obviously, if you have an account somewhere, suppose you are going to a cyber cafe or if you are going to an ATM, so first it will ask you to enter your card or enter your details. So here they are asking for enter your user ID. So my user ID is 0. Suppose let's make it simple. I'm not going to make it complicated. So I have entered user ID. Say user ID. Suppose I have entered sc.next or 0. In as an example, I have entered 0. So what it will do, it will simply print system.out.println. It will simply print hi account, it will indicate the position of the array. So account 0, here in this case, not account 0, it will print hi account user ID. So it will point to Guha's element. And here it will print that object dot name. And it will say like, hi, hi Guha, successfully logged in. Something like that. So you got the idea what I'm trying to do. So instead of user ID, it will actually, I will provide 0. If it is Iron will provide 1. So account 1 is an object. It will point to this object, if you can see my cursor. And object dot name is going to print the name of the Iron. So you can write that. But for the time being, I'm not going to give the account 1. It depends on the user ID that will be provided by the user. And it can also ping you, or it can also print like your balance is account user ID dot balance. So the balance variable of that object, and very simple. That's all. So just if I control K, and now if I just going to enter, let me, where is the program? Yeah. So let me create an app or ATM, whatever you can do. Just a minute. Yeah. So let me create an ATM, say. Someone someone goes to that ATM and now he or she is having two options, sign in and sign up. So I'm just going to sign up first. So enter your name. I'm just printing Guha 10,000. Fine. Let me close this one and let me sign up once again. Suppose enter your name, Iron, with 20,000, say. And okay, another new message is here. Hi, Iron, your account is created successfully with user ID 1. You can see automatically it is happening. So now we have two accounts. You can play with more accounts, but I just do not want to input a lot of values. So void sign in now. Now no one wants to create an account. I went there again and I want to log in with my user ID or Ian, whoever. So let me log in first by my name. So I just want to log in like user ID 0. If I enter, it is pinging me, hi Guha, successfully logged in. Your balance is 10,000. If I close this, if I come out of the ATM and someone goes next, he or she will click on sign in, because if you need to create your account, you can click on sign up. If you do not need to create an account, you just, if you want to log in, just click on sign in. Now enter your user ID. Suppose if Ian goes there, he will give his user ID, that is 1. If I enter, it will show like, hi Ian, successfully logged in, your balance is 20,000. You can see it will access the second object. So now on, you can create another object by creating sign up or sign in, whatever you can do. You can go to the ATM and you can do whatever you want. So that is the idea of sign in and sign up feature. Now, if I go more, if you have more courage to see these real life applications, obviously I cannot log into anywhere randomly. So I need some good user ID. A 0 cannot be a good user ID. So I need to have a good password. I have to have some good account number. If you have some bank account, obviously your bank account is not like 0. Okay. So here, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to create an user ID now. So here you can make like where I'm printing. Yeah, here I'm printing something called user ID. So here you can print something like bank 0 something, or you can write like bank 500 0. So you can put some ID like that, or some good looking ID. So every time it will be like bank 500, and after that 10 will be added, or 1 will be added, or 2 will be added. It depends. So for the time being, I'm just keeping it like bank 0. That will be your user ID, something like that. So now here, if anyone is asking for user ID, so obviously it will no more be integer. So here I'm just going to take it inside the string, because whenever I create the account name will be popped up to the user. User do not know coding. So for user, the user ID will be bank 0. So every time the user will go to the bank, okay, let me write it in a fresh way. Just give me a minute. So every time the user will go into the bank, he doesn't know, he or she doesn't know what it means actually. What is object? What is object of array of object? They will just go to the bank and say like, okay, my user ID is bank 0. My user ID is bank 1. My user ID is bank 2. Even have you ever tried to interpret your bank account number? I don't know, if you are interested, you can check in Google. Each part, each number of your account number means something, either area code or branch number or your specific account number. So it comprise everything and make a big number. For the time being, we do not need to make that big number and make that complicated program. We are already, probably you are already finding it complicated. So I am not going into that direction. I'm just simply creating a simple user ID like bank 0, bank 1, blah, blah, blah. So whenever user wants to log in, they need to enter this user ID. So string user ID equals to sc.next. So the user ID will be entered. So now my task is from that user ID, bank 0, I have to fetch only 0. No need to tell that to user that I do not need anything with the bank. I just need the number, that is 0. Do not need to tell that to the user. So what I will do on the back side inside the code, user will not going to know that. I'm just going to take everything from the 5th position. I hope so it will work. So if I just go to any online compiler and if I just try to test, because I'm really a forgetful person. So suppose if the user ID is bank 0, say if the user ID is bank 0. So I just want to take the 0. How I can do that? I really forgot, but let me try. If I write u dot substring 5th character, or sorry, 4th character, because always it starts from 0. So I just want to take 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I just want to take everything from the 4th position. So will it going to print 0? Let me test. Yeah, it is giving me 0. I need that 0. But for the user ID is bank 0, bank 1. They do not know anything. But for me, that word bank is useless. So I'm just going to fetch that number only. So I'm just going to write user ID u dot substring 4. So that works. That already that is already working. You can see here. So I'm just using that code. And here I just need to do another thing from string to integer. If you want to convert something, it will work like this, integer dot parseInt. So this is a nice learning. We have discussed it once in our one of the classes, but if you do not know, it is very simple. You just need to write integer dot parseInt. Rest of the programs are same. So now let me compile once again, and again our ATM is open. So someone comes to the ATM. So this ATM is, suppose, okay, let me give the name of ATM. So someone comes to the ATM and he has two options, sign in or sign up. So suppose he or she chooses sign up. So now suppose the first user is Guha, enter the amount is 10,000, and you can see here it is written, hi Guha, your account is created successfully with user ID bank 0. This bank is just an eyewash to the user. The actual number we need is 0. So next time we will fetch that. But user will not going to know that. User every time go to the bank and he will say, okay, my user ID is bank 0. They will not going to know what is the meaning. Okay, sorry, I have given it wrong. So let me close it. Okay, so now this time, again, let me click on sign up, enter your name, suppose Iron, or you can give any other name as well. Enter the opening amount, suppose 20,000. Fine, let me close that. And now at the time of sign in, it is asking for user ID. So I'm just going to give my user ID that was popped up, that was shared by the bank or popped up in the message. So I am giving bank 0. Rest of the thing will be taken by the bank itself. So you can see here it is writing, hi Guha, successfully logged in, your balance is 10,000, something like that. So that is the use of user ID. Okay, so user ID obviously will be assigned to some new employee or some new customer every time. Whenever you open some account, it will give you some user ID. The last thing is password. Otherwise, anyone can try with their user ID. It is not safe. So if you want to hide your data members like password, bank balance, obviously, these are the confidential information. No one should print that so easily. So it should be hidden. So to make it hidden, you can use some variable called private and private. You can see. So if I compile, and now, if I go here, you can see it is already giving some error. So if I compile, you can see it is already giving some error. It is saying error find. It cannot access this name anymore. It cannot access this name anymore. So how to handle that now? So if I just go to the bank, I'm just trying to show you some real-time example. It really works like this. So here, I'm just not going to give the direct access to the user of this variable. Obviously, if I personally get the access of the variable of the bank, obviously I will increase it by 1,000 times, or probably 10,000 times, or probably more than that, how much it allows. Who who doesn't want to see his or her bank balance like a few billions? Obviously, I will do that. So that's why I'm not going to give the direct access to the variable. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to show that value only, so that they can only see the value, and that's all. They will not going to do anything. So I'm just going to provide that as a function. So here I'm just giving like return name, and here int get balance, suppose. So these methods are called getter and setter method. Okay. So here I'm just going to return the balance. So instead of giving the access to the direct variable, what I'm giving, I'm just giving the access to a function. So they cannot modify, they can just call. So here instead of the variable, I can give the function name. That's all. So the same thing they will be able to see, but not with the variable, because sharing variable is very risky. So if they can print the variable, obviously they can increase the variable as well. They can increase the value, uh, unless he or she is not a very good loyal person. Anyone will increase the value of that variable, because the money in the bank is just a number. So it should be secured. Now if I compile, you can see there is no compile error. So that is for the security. Even if you want more security, you can introduce something called password. So here I can do that as well. So private string password, say. So that is the last thing I'm going to show in this class. And here you need to insert the password as well. So string p for password, and here I can write password equals to p. And we do not need to show the password here. So here I am just going to introduce another variable, another function called boolean validate password. So whenever someone enter the password, first I'm just going to check that. So string entered password, it was entered by the user. I'm just going to check like return if entered password dot equals our real password. If both are same, then it will return the true. Otherwise, it will return the false. So let me compile. And now, if anyone wants to sign in, obviously on the first go, they cannot see everything. So now, first, after giving the user ID, the ATM will ask the password as well. Don't worry, I will provide the program in the chat box, in the description section. But it will be better as well if you try it from yourself. So here I will, the user has to give the password as well, user ID and password. Now what I will do, here I will introduce one if block, and I will just going to check that object name, and I will call the function. The function name is this time validate password that I have just created. And here I will enter the P that is given by the user. So if it returns true, that means the stored password and the given password by the user are same. Then you can see all the details. If not, then, okay, let me do another thing here. First extract the user ID outside, otherwise it will not work. Yeah. So now, if uh, if it returns true, then only you can see these messages. Otherwise, you cannot see these messages. Okay. And here I have to provide password as well. Okay. Let me enter the password at the time of account creation. And whenever they create an application, they changes some code in the application, probably in your case, you receive some auto update message from Google Play Store or iPhone. So every time if they change the code, if they make it better, you will be popped up like, okay, update the application, some message you can see, and you just go to the Play Store and update your app. So that generally happens due to this reason. So here I'm just going to take P for the password, and just I have given the password here. Anything else I need to take care? Just okay, why it is giving the error? Oh, sorry, I have given int. I don't know why I have given int. So it should be string password. Yep, perfect. So account is created. This time one extra line has been added. Like it will validate the password. If it returns true, then only it will show those messages. If not, then I can show something like system.out.println, like wrong credentials, or you can give any messages as per your wish. So I guess it will work. Let me try. So banking app, again, I'm just going to create one ATM with this updated code. And here for the sign up feature, suppose someone like me wants to create an account with this bank called 10,000 rupees. Now this time it is popping up one password. Suppose I'm giving ABCD. This is not my real password. But again, they have created an account ID, user ID called bank zero. So now if I just going to sign in, I will just I will just enter my user ID called bank zero. It is saying enter your password this time. I have given EFGH. So it is saying wrong credentials. You are not giving the right password. So I'm not going to show you anything else. Okay, fine. So now what I'm going to do, I'm just trying to sign in once again. So like bank zero, this time I'm trying with the password ABCD. That is the correct. So now it is saying, hi Guha, successfully logged in. Your balance is 10,000. You can see the power of this application. So this is one of the real-time situations. So that's my idea basically, to show you some real-time example. It is not that much important for the interview, but if you are willing to work in this industry, this type of things you have to do. So if you want to go more, my topics are ended, but still if you want to go more, from here, you can call all these options like system.out.println. I'm just not going to run that, but still I'm just going to show you. You can write enter one for balance inquiry, all the bank features you can call now. Enter two for, you can do whatever you can here. Enter two for, submit the account, submit some money, something. Enter two for submit money, enter three for withdrawal, like you do in a regular, in a normal ATM. So you can do all those operations here. And you can write enter four for exit or for log out, whatever you can call it. Something like that you can do. Here I can write a loop like loop equals to true, Boolean loop. If you are successfully logged in, obviously you came into the ATM for some work. Obviously you are not here in the ATM just to just to play around with the ATM machine, unless you are a thief. Obviously you have some work. So whenever you are logged in, it will be popped up the message like this. So now you can enter, and again you can play with something like enter choice equals to sc.nextInt. If someone enters one, he or she will be able to see the balance. So I can write this, suppose switch ch the choice, and you can now play with that. Case one is balance inquiry, something. The object name is account user ID, and you can call account user ID. Okay, already I have called that balance inquiry, so I'm just going to paste that here. Case two, okay, let me call it break. And now case two, case three, now you have to call submit, withdraw, blah blah blah. So let me do it a bit, because I really like this type of program, the real time one. So here you have to take another input, system dot out dot println. So I'm just trying to create a real-time application. I'm doing a lot of things. So don't be confused. It is not needed for the interview. I'm just giving you an idea because this is the first time we are doing something, we are creating something useful. So enter the amount you want to submit. So if anyone enters 2, that means he or she wants to submit some amount. So I'm just going to take that amount, suppose int submit amount or something, sc.next int, and you can just call that submit function. That's all. So it will be like submit essay and break, I guess. Nothing is needed. Same for withdrawal. So I'm just trying to, because I cannot resist myself as well, just to show you a real application. Because from the very first day we are not creating something meaningful. This is the first time we are creating something meaningful. So here I can write withdraw and the rest of the things, I guess. Okay. So case 4, if anyone wants to log off, then obviously I will put the loop variable as false. You can see. Otherwise, this variable will goes on and on and on. Always it is true. So I'm just going to make it false. And case 5, you can write default. Here you can write if anyone enters something else. Obviously, many type of user can come. They can insert something good values, some bad values. So I can write wrong choice. You are giving some wrong choices. You have to enter from 1 to 4 something. So now if I just compile for the very last time and it is confirmed, it is the last time I'm just going to do that. So for the last run, let me create an ATM. Let me create an user called Guha with 10,000 amount. The password is ABCD. Perfect. My account is created with bank 0. Perfect. Let me create another sign up, another user with Iron. Enter the amount 20,000. Remember the password. Iron password is 1234 say. And Iron's password is already, Iron's account is already created with bank 1. You can create a lot of users as per your choice. You can play with that. Now sign in. So I'm just giving bank 0 as my sign in thing. Enter the password. I'm not playing with the wrong password because I have already shown that I have given the right password. So it is saying me, hi Guha, successfully logged in. Your balance is 10,000. Now what you want to do? Check your balance again or submit or withdraw or log out. I have said like, okay, I want to submit some money. That's why I come to the ATM, or I want to withdraw some money. So I have just entered 3. It is asking for enter the amount you want to withdraw. I have said like, okay, I want to withdraw 2,000. My amount is 10,000. I want to withdraw 2,000. So it is saying like, hi Guha, your account is credited. Okay, it is a wrong message, I guess. Whatever, with 2,000. So now if I just want to see my balance amount, so it is saying why it is not printing the balance. I don't know. Probably I have to print it. I have done something wrong. So anyway, you can do some submit, you can do enter the amount. Now I want to submit 5,000 rupees. And here your account is credited with 5,000. I can click log out. Okay. So it is not working. Why not working? Let me check. Okay, I have done a very small mistake probably. Yeah, I know. So it is, I have to give a break. And why it is not printing the get balance? Because I have not printed it. Okay, let me print it. Okay, or let me directly call balance inquiry. I was just calling the function. I was just printing the variable. So I can here write balance inquiry. I did some very small mistakes. That's why it was not working. And I guess now it looks fine. I couldn't keep my promise. I have to run the program once again. So if I just run like ATM, and this time I hope I will be doing good because I make a lot of mistakes in my office as well. I'm not a very talented guy. Yeah, so you probably also make some mistakes, but that is normal. Trust me. Uh, no one can be perfect. So here I have already created my account. And now if I sign in with the account like bank zero, password is ABCD, and it is saying, hi Guha, your balance is 10,000. Now, if I click one, it is saying, hi Guha, your balance is 10,000. I know that. So now I want to submit some money. So I am entering two. So I want to submit another 5,000 into my account. So it is saying, hi Guha, your account is credited with 5,000. Now, if I want to see my balance inquiry, it is saying your balance is 15,000. Very good. So now I want to log out. If I click 4, I am logged out. You can see the program has stopped. So now if I close and now again I can log in or sign up. So that is a program, a good program of a real-time examples. You might find it very tough. It is not important for the interview. For the interview, it is only needed to know how you can create an object, an array of object. That's all. That much of details is not needed at all. So now it is a good example for you how in real time this program works. So here I have used for loop. Here I have used if. Here I have used some string functions. You can see here I have used some objects and the function. So class and objects as well. Here you have, I have used the constructor, objects, everything. So as a totality, in totality, it is a good example of a real-time application. In real-time application, you have to do something similar. Obviously, you will get a lot of time to implement that. You will get days to implement that. Here, I have just done it by 1 hour something. So, but again, at the end of the day, it is a good product we have made in our entire series of classes. This is the first time we have made something in real, that is that is called an application. So it is the sign up feature used by almost every applications. Okay, every application I feel means I cannot remember any application which doesn't have any sign in or sign up feature. So that's pretty much of it of this class. I hope you find it very tough, I guess. But still, it is important to check this kind of programs for your future purpose. If you have any doubts, you can just write some comments. Me or someone else can help you. Even you can use our Facebook group or you can check the study materials. In any type of problem, you can contact us via any of these links. So that's pretty much of it. Next day we will do something important uh, interview topics. Okay. So that's all. Bye for the day.